Being in my 50s, I thought I'm going through the change, going through menopause. And, you know, you get tired, sleepless, hot flushes, blah, blah, blah. But the thing that made me go to the doctors was that I found black in my poo. And I thought, that's not right. I need to go to the doctors. So I went and she said, okay, we need to send you for an urgent gastroscopy. And even then, it didn't occur to me it would be anything serious at all. We were brought into the doctor's office afterwards and he said, found something and it's quite serious. I think you've got stomach cancer, which was like, wow, didn't expect that. Anyway, from then on, it got better, as it wasn't stomach cancer and I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. When you're diagnosed, it's like, I don't know, juggernaut that hits you and you think of your mortality and, oh, what about the kids? I had a daughter in university, but we waited to pick Catherine up from university and we told both of them together. It was awful, awful, awful telling them. But you know, we got through it and we ended up managing to be really positive. I'm a woman losing my hair. Oh my God. And how stupid was I to worry about losing my hair? Because when you get there, it's like, actually no, when it's falling out and you're looking baldy, it's, oh God, this is awful. But once it's fallen out, it's like, so what? There's nothing you can do about it. And losing your hair is a tiny part of it, really. So please don't worry about losing your hair. I had a chemotherapy called R-CHOP. Went in, I had a room to myself, luckily. Nurses come in, tell me what was going to happen, hooked me up to the drugs. By 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I was free. So I was in, I'd have lunch there. It was interesting, the first couple. As it went on, it got harder and harder. The fourth one was horrible, but the fifth and sixth one, I just felt awful. They were my worst times. I had a thing on my phone that said, how are you today? And so every day I would just fill in how I was feeling, you know. I look back last night, I went through all my days, and actually I felt sorry for myself. I look back on my chemo and think how positive we were, and it was a horrible, horrible thing to go through, but yeah, it was fine. A bit like childbirth. It's almost like you forget about it afterwards. But reading my day-to-day diary was really sad last night because I was really sick and you try and remain positive all the time, and actually generally I was, but there was a few times I'd written down that I'd cried. I'd sat on the sofa and cried for no reason. But yeah, I got a red face, dry mouth, couldn't taste anything. My taste buds were shot. Paul was great though. We got a chemo cookbook. Actually, that was quite interesting to cook different things and to see what I fancied eating, because I didn't fancy eating a lot of the time. I had a gastroscopy after my third chemo and they said there was no more cancer in my stomach, but the rest of the chemos were belt and braces. And then in the December I had a PET scan. That tells me I have no cancer, and that was huge, and I will forever celebrate that. And then we had a lovely Christmas, and in fact at school it was our night out, end of term night out, and I said, well, if I've got no cancer I'm coming, and if I haven't. So I walked in to the party and everybody was like, yeah, so they all knew, and that was a really nice celebration of it as well. But afterwards, all the side effects, they stay with you. The inside of my body felt sort of rusty. It was hard to move things, and that's why I think maybe I should have done more exercise, maybe did a bit more walking, my legs particularly. And in the February I went back to work, and actually I shouldn't have gone back to work, but you're feeling better, and I was a little bit bored, and I think, I enjoy my job. I had a phased return. But I realised I was still an old woman walking down the corridors or going about my normal job, because you know how you feel in an environment. I remember walking down the corridor to one of the classrooms thinking, yeah, this is wrong. But anyway, I soldiered on and eventually I got better and better. So. I don't know how many gastroscopies I've had now, and every time I see the same consultant, and it's quite nice. We have a laugh, and you know, he said, "Oh, you here again?" And I love having the gastroscopies. Yeah, I have the sedation anyway, so it doesn't hurt. It's not a problem, but it means there's nothing in there, and I get a bit nervous before everyone. And now I just have them once a year. I wanted to be open and talk about it, and that would be my advice, I suppose. Talk to other people about it. I had a couple of friends who came round and talked to me about going through it, and you know, we had a bit of a cry. And, it's a hard thing to go through, but we were very positive throughout the whole thing, and I don't want to paint it as awful, because you know, I look back in it and I was amazed that it was so awful. So you forget about it, and you know, I'm now, next week on the 31st of May, it will be 4 years since I've been diagnosed. So on Tuesday it will have been 4 years. And then in December it will be 4 years that I'm in remission. So yay for me.